What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody, man? It's the Bronco at the Frog coming at you with another reaction video. We got Big Ben, Big Top Ben's back up to be able to get him to 150,000 subscribers. We did the entire history of the 2014 World Cup. We did the entire history of the 2022 World Cup. We did the entire history of the 2018 World Cup. Now it's time for the entire history of a World Cup that y'all wasn't even born for. A World Cup that half the chat was either not born or they was in diapers and Pampers. You got a nigga in the chat right now that was born in 2010, fool. Go ahead, expose yourself. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's cool if you wasn't born for it. But hey, we got the entire story of the 2006 World Cup. So that what make this video interesting is usually y'all watching me learn about something that I don't know, but you're gonna be learning too. You understand me? So we both gonna be learning together. So it's gonna be that much even more better of a video. Shout out mans like Top Benz. Like I said, hey, he talking about some niggas was 8 for the 2018. Oh man, bro, that is fun, bro. That is hilarious. Niggas was 10 years old during COVID. Ah man, but the time is not real, bro. He said just play the vid. I got you, but bro, I got you, man. That show goes down.
World Cup had no option but to be iconic. Almost every major nation had star-studded squads featuring legends from the 90s and early 2000s alongside a
damn, yo, y'all remember we did that video?
21st century. Predicting a winner between the usual candidates before a ball was kicked was almost...
Y'all remember we did that video on the greatest era of football in the thousands won that? We were watching a World Cup from the greatest era of football, bro.
Impossible, and hardly any of the favorites flunked, meaning that the latter stages were filled with epic head-to-head clashes between the world's best.
Big boys versus big boys.
It wasn't just the quality of football that made 06 special. Hosted in Germany, a nation of footballing royalty, the atmosphere, identity, and spectacle were unmatched. Not to mention the tournament would end with one of the most shocking moments in football history.
Hey, this is football before social media took over, when in money and TV deals took over. This is just football for the love of the game of football right here, man.
Entire story of the 06 World
Football
Cup.
heritage, they call it.
There's arguably no greater country on earth to host a World Cup tournament than Germany. The Central European nation is home to large, atmospheric stadiums like the Allianz.
He said it is hardly... I'm gonna try not to pause because last video was 40 minutes. I'm gonna try not to turn it into 40 minutes. Germany is like... do y'all agree with that? Oh, he said European. All right, hold on.
There's arguably no greater country on earth to host a World Cup tournament than Germany.
Nah, he didn't say European. He said on earth. German? I mean, okay,
The European nation is home to large, atmospheric stadiums like the Allianz Arena, Signal Iduna Park, and Olympiastadion. And supporters from all over the planet flock to Germany in a month-long celebration of football. Brazil entered the tournament as the holders, having danced their way to glory in 02.
Yeah, okay, I see.
R9, Ronaldinho, and Roberto
Why
Carlos
England ain't been hosting no World Cup?
We love the beautiful game. The trio would return for the 06 World Cup as the Samba Kings look to retain their title, but this time they'd have strong competition. France had a sublime squad that featured Thierry Henry, Patrick Vieira, and Zinedine Zidane, who had
bro, and I tell you, this nigga young Thierry had so much swag, like no homo. Like that boy had that swag. What is that, a hot top fade or something? With the little baggy look, like, hey, that boy swagged out, man.
And Zinedine Zidane, who had announced that he'd retire at the end of the tournament. Zizou had already lifted the World Cup, Champions League, and several league titles, so his final tournament was as much about
final tournament of his career,
control, and skill for one last time as it was about hunting for another trophy. England arrived in Germany with their greatest team in decades.
Ooh, hey.
Partnered with John Terry.
Hey,
in Germany with their greatest.
Them blacks is tough, England. Woo. Hey, you can't tell me these boys don't look legit with these black. I'm pretty sure these was training uniforms. And no way these were their main uniforms. But England need to pull out some blacks like one time for the one time like these, bro. These are class.
As Rio Ferdinand partnered with John Terry in defense, Steven Gerrard and Frank Lampard combined in midfield, Wayne Rooney and Michael Owen led the line. There was a feeling of optimism bordering on arrogance about England's chances that summer. But while the English...
Am I tripping or is the music like loud as hell? Am I tripping?
Believe that they had the best team on the planet.
I can barely hear
them.
Yeah, I often say I can barely hear top
Spain had
end.
Xavi, Andres Iniesta, and Fernando Torres, among others, while the Dutch had a scary attack featuring Arjen Robben, Lud van Nistelrooy, and Robin van Persie. Meanwhile, Cristiano...
Hey. Hey, this front three for sure is deadly. What the hell? Who in this tournament had a deadlier front three? Brazil and who? Who else? I feel like Norway for sure had to be about top 3, top 2. He said attackers back in the day was so much more better. Every team had that fire. Had they... Bro, these niggas went from Arjen Robben, Van Nistelrooy, and Van Persie to Cody Gakpo.
Stole that shit.
Yeah, that hurts right there, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Van Persie. Meanwhile, Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi traveled to their first World Cup finals with Portugal and Argentina as fresh-faced youngsters ready to change the future of football forever.
Group stage.
The tournament of a generation got underway as hosts Germany faced Costa Rica. It took fewer than 7 minutes for the celebrations to begin as Philipp Lahm cut in.
Oh, y'all know I rock with CONCACAF.
Opening goal. Germany continued in similar vein, winning the opener 4-2.
Hey, chill on Frimpong, man. Chill on Frimpong.
1-0 with a last-minute winner, and Ecuador 3-0 thanks to goals from their
damn, slimed them South American and North American boys out. Not North American
games and joined Germany in the knockout stages. In Group B, England won their opening 2 games.
Hold on, damn, God, leave this all going by so fast. So Ecuador made it. Okay, Germany, Ecuador made it out.
Stages in Group B, England won their
in Poland, and who was that?
Games and joined Germany in the knockout stages.
Poland and Costa Rica got slimed. Costa Rica got 0. Oh my goodness. It ain't got the speed. The speed on normal. Poland got 3, of course.
In Group B, England won their opening 2 games.
Golly, top bench.
Germany in the knockout stages. In Group B, England won.
All right, Group B, we got Sweden, Paraguay, England, and whoa, Trinidad. Hey, y'all know I rock with them Trinidad and Tobago boys, man. Ever since I interacted to get foggy. Ever since I interacted with them boys during the Gold Cup.
Their opening 2 games against Paraguay and Trinidad and Tobago before drawing with Sweden, a game in which Joe Cole scored a sublime goal of the tournament contender. The draw ensured that both teams qualified for the last 16 on 7 and 5 points respectively.
Trinidad, hey, at least Trinidad got a point. They did something Costa Rica couldn't.
Lionel Messi scored his first World Cup goal as Argentina beat Serbia and Montenegro 6-0 on their way to topping Group C. The only game the Argentines failed to win was a 0-0 draw against the Netherlands, who also picked up 7 points to progress in second place.
Hey, oh yeah, they hooped. We got Ivory Coast with 0. Ivory Coast with 0 and Serbia and Montenegro. Oh, Montenegro branched off and became their own country type shit. That's why it's just Serbia and it's just Montenegro. Now, tight shit, y'all.
It was as if the rivalry between Ronaldo and Messi was born at the 06 World Cup, because the day after Leo netted his first goal, CR7 grabbed his first during a 2-0 win over Iran.
It was a pin, huh?
Each of their 3 matches and qualified for the last 16.
Portugal swept. Oh, El Shout out to them Tree Boys. They got 4 points. Angola. Oh, this is a Mickey. Matter of fact, I'm not clapping. I take my clap back. Y'all supposed to make it out this group, goddammit. Come on now. Yo, in there bitch with Angola and Iran? And got 4, yeah, you got 4 measly points from that?
Italy were quietly confident about their chances.
You're supposed to have a guaranteed 6.
Group E, picking up
oh, hold on. Let me see the group. Italy, USA. Let's see what happened in this. So we got Ghana. I just heard on the street that Ghana used to terrorize us every time we played it. I think we must have got grouped.
Group E picking up 7 points against Ghana, the US, and the Czech Republic.
Oh, we drew with them. Never mind. We drew. Czech Republic lost. Ghana lost.
Ghana's victories against the US and the Czechs ensured that they qualified.
Bro, this is a proper group, though. This is a proper World Cup group. He said we equal with Trinidad. It's a proper group. Come on now. Italy, Ghana, and the Czech Republic versus Mexico. These niggas had Angola and Iran, bro. Like, come on now, niggas had it work. They had it cut out for them. We in here in the trenches. It's a group of death, innit?
Right alongside Italy, Brazil were scintillating in Group F, scoring 7 goals and picking up 9 points. The highlight of Brazil's group stage performance was a 4-1 victory over Japan, in which R9 scored a brace to become the tournament's all-time joint top goal scorer. Meanwhile, Australia made history by finishing second in the group. And
okay, Australia, Japan. This was before Japan had they comeuppance. Croatia was sitting there at number 2. Australia got 4, Brazil got 9, of course. Swamped everybody out.
First time securing 4 points from their games against Japan and Croatia. France were
Australia need to up they damn badge game, bro. I get tired of looking at Australia ugly ass badge. Now, if anybody need to update or need to move to, I don't even think, is there a national team with a circle badge? If there is not, Australia need to be the first national team to break out a circle badge, bro, and go meta, because that shit is ugly. Look like a damn belt buckle. Colombia, yeah, they need to go with a circle badge then.
France were disappointing in Group G, failing to win either of their opening 2 games against Switzerland and South Korea. They were
it's time to start a narrative. Thierry Henry, come forward. Come forward. Come forward. These Frenchmen, come on now. Let's have some conversations. Football life in the building. 0 points scored in your opening match
against Switzerland
and then drew against South Korea. Yeah, I know they made it to the finals because of the headbutt.
South Korea, they were on the brink of a shock early elimination before second half goals from Vieira and Henry secured a 2-0 win against Togo to finish in second.
Togo, bro, niggas got Togo in this. And they finished second. Switzerland, wow. I never would have thought this. I never would have thought that France finished second.
The group, Fernando Torres scored 3 times and David Villa scored twice as Spain topped Group H while winning each of their games. Their young
they ain't even show the rest of the niggas
on the world stage, but they looked unflustered and played arguably the most expansive football of any team at the tournament. Ukraine were runners-up after enjoying victories.
Ukraine and Tunisia, South Africa had one.
And Tunisia.
Round of 16.
Knockout stages often include drama, controversy, and upsets, but the 06 group stages were arguably even greater than any previous tournament as each of the favorites progressed to the last 16 while playing attacking football. It was immediately clear that this year's World Cup would not be written by one of the tournament's underdogs, but one of the elite nations.
Hey, that's what I like. Cream of the crop, boxing it out. Best of the best.
But the last 16
that's how March Madness was this year.
And Sweden, which only ever seemed to have one winner. Podolski bagged a brace.
Germany on Sweden.
12 minutes to put the game to bed and send the hosts to the last 8. Many supporters had similar thoughts about Argentina's clash with Mexico, who had been eliminated at the round of 16 in each of the previous 3 tournaments. But for a moment, Mexico thought its luck.
Mexico boys can't get out the round of 16, huh? Boys got a round of 16 curse going. Hey, man. Feel me? Hey, at least we got a round of 32 this time. Hey, at least y'all can get y'all a knockout stage win this time.
It changed as Rafael Marquez established an early advantage. However, Argentina equalized moments later, and the game was eventually forced to extra time. Mexico fought valiantly. And
it took them to extra time, though.
Genius for Maxi Rodriguez to win the game 8 minutes into extra time with a sublime volley.
They slimed y'all like that!
To win the game 8 minutes into extra time. And it took a moment of pure genius for Maxi Rodriguez to win the game 8 minutes into
nigga, I'm talking about Puskas nominee on y'all head. And then Messi hit another Puskas nominee on y'all head in 2022. Well, it wasn't Puskas, but he low-driven y'all from outside the box, bro. Why do y'all keep letting Argentina disrespect y'all like that? Then threw the, threw that little Mexico jersey on the ground like it wasn't nothing in the locker room.
Stole that shit.
Really, that boy Nails stay disrespecting y'all. I see why y'all don't like him.
Extra time
in Argentina.
Sublime volley. The goal of the tournament shortlist was already looking stacked with weeks until the final. The following day, England qualified for the quarterfinals after beating Ecuador 1-0 thanks to a trademark free kick from David Beckham. The performance was that of a team under heavy scrutiny from its media.
Hey, look at England. England is just so pitiful.
Faced the winner of Portugal versus the Netherlands, a game that would later be called the Battle of Nuremberg.
I remember this. We reacted to this on YouTube. They said this was like the game with the most red cards.
Bloodbath was the first time in which Cristiano Ronaldo would play in a World Cup knockout match. The then 21-year-old impressed the world during the group stages with his flicks, tricks, and stepovers, and was clearly among the world's most exciting players. Perhaps the Dutch didn't know how to deal with Ronaldo's quality fairly, so they went in on the young winger during the opening stages with needlessly aggressive challenges. Portugal were not going to let their energy get fully and Maniche entered the book after 20 minutes with a heavy challenge of his own. Supporters were shocked by the aggressive nature of the match between two nations that tend to play football the beautiful way, but Portugal offered a glimpse of how the game could have gone differently as Maniche glided past a couple of players before elegantly placing the ball
Luis
in the net.
Scola looking at
down. Many assumed that the Dutch approach would change, but after 34 minutes, Ronaldo was forced off, having been on the receiving end of several disgraceful tackles during the opening stages. As halftime approached, 4 players had already been booked when Portugal's Costinha received his second yellow for a cynical handball. That was the first of 4 red cards during the game.
In a World Cup knockout match?
Van Bronckhorst, along with Portugal's Deco, were all red carded.
I remember seeing this video. I remember seeing this picture of me. Look at that. Were they teammates or something? These niggas on opposite teams sitting together. They just like, well, it's the world's game after all.
Portugal hung on to win the game, which featured a record-breaking 20 cards, while the Dutch were disgraced. Italy and Australia met a day later, with nobody expecting the team featuring Totti, Andrea Pirlo, and Gennaro Gattuso to struggle to beat a footballing minnow. But as the game entered added time at the end of 90, the two teams could not be split. Then, an aimless ball was hoofed to Fabio Grosso, who dribbled into the box and deceived the referee with a blatant dive, giving Italy the chance to break Australia.
Hey, I wouldn't say blatant. That's a pin, bro. In 26, I wouldn't even call it no blatant dive. This is a clear pin in 26.
Was hooked to Fabio Grosso, who dribbled into the box and deceived the referee with the blatant.
Look, that's clear pin. Look at his leg. That ain't no dive. Top bin's supposed to be Australian.
Dive, giving Italy the chance to break Australia's hearts from the penalty spot with seconds remaining. Totti smashed the ball into the net, and Italy progressed into the last 8, but it was not convincing. Still, they'd play the winner of Switzerland and Ukraine in the following round, and the tournament seemed to be opening up nicely for them. Because neither Switzerland nor Ukraine was a world-class team, as proven by their 0-0 draw over 120 minutes, Ukraine won the match on penalty.
I was just about to say, I don't know what it is about these like Northern and Eastern Europe matchups. Like I said, Sweden and Switzerland sounds like it's a snooze fest every time they match up. Poland and Ukraine sounds like a snooze fest. I don't know what it is. Every time these teams match up, fucking Denmark and whoever else match up with that group of European teams, bro, it's just like, oh.
Despite Andriy Shevchenko missing his spot kick. After the board draw between the two European nations, everybody was ready for Brazil to turn on the style against Brazil! Fans only needed to wait 5 minutes for the entertainment to begin as R9 produced a sensational step over to round the goalkeeper and become the tournament's all-time record scorer. Goals from Adriano and Zé Roberto rounded off a convincing win in which Brazil did not have to get out of first gear. Brazil would play the winner of Spain versus France.
See the video of Spain versus France.
For two teams of such undeniable quality to meet so early in the tournament. While France was mediocre during the group stages, their talent was undeniable. By contrast, the skill of Spain's youthful stars caught many punters off guard, and they were tipped to go all the way if they could get past the French. And Spain was beginning to dream as David Villa converted a 28th-minute penalty. Little did they know that moment finally woke France up. Just over 10 minutes later, Franck Ribéry replied by rounding the keeper to scoring.
Why I thought that nigga was
German. The teams
German.
could not be separated until late into the second half when France received a free kick midway inside Spain's half.
Thierry! Whoa. Thierry! You was a flopper back in the day? Well, I guess everybody was, but I ain't expect you out of all people to do some weasel shit like this. Puyol say he too buff. There ain't no way Thierry Henry just tried the weight room Puyol. It didn't work and he flopped. Oh my gosh. Say it's not so, Thierry Henry.
inside Spain's half. Zizou, who had suffered an uncharacteristically quiet tournament so far, stood over the ball. He expertly lofted the ball into the box, which eventually found Vieira, who headed the ball into the net. In stoppage time, Zidane made it 3 after breaking free, dodging the lunge of Carlos Puyol, composing himself, and smashing the ball into the net. The tournament's biggest star had truly woken up, and there seemed to be nothing that the rest of the football world would be able to do about a free-flowing Zidane during his final act. From that moment onward, the 06 World Cup would effectively become the Zidane Show. But before 36-year-old Zidane would shock the world by producing an all-timer performance against Brazil, Germany would face Argentina in the tournament's first quarterfinal. The hosts were growing in confidence and had the 72,000 Olympia Stadion behind them for their clash against the South Americans. However, Roberto Ayala shocked Berlin by converting Juan Roman Riquelme's corner. The Argentines looked set to win until Miroslav Klose equalized 9 minutes from time, setting the tie to extra time and eventually penalties.
You know Miroslav Klose has the record for the highest most goals scored in a World Cup match. I bet y'all ain't know that. Oh, wrong one. We need to do the clap thing. Yeah, man.
Setting the tie to extra time and eventually penalties. Germany scored each of their penalties, while Ayala and Esteban Cambiaso missed for Argentina, sending them out of the tournament. Lionel Messi returned to Argentina having scored 1 goal in 4 appearances, showing small flashes of brilliance. But to win a World Cup, you need more than flashes of brilliance, and Italy knew that if they were serious about lifting the trophy that summer, they'd need to start putting some meaningful performances together, starting with their quarterfinal clash with Ukraine. Eager to prove themselves to the world, Italy opened the scoring after 6 minutes with a long-range effort from Gianluca Zambrotta. Like France, Italy seemed to have
them Italian boys had a different type of aura back in the day, bro.
Even if their attacking football was not the brightest, Italy had reached the semi-finals while only conceding a single goal throughout the entire tournament. Gianluigi Buffon was imperious in goal, but was protected by an excellent defensive line led by Fabio Cannavaro. Many began to nickname the defender the Berlin Wall, and if he could continue being so
Cannavaro, that's so disrespectful.
There was no limit on
the fact that they called him that in Germany is just so disrespectful.
England and Portugal went head-to-head the following night in a quarterfinal tie that would be talked about for decades. The English were undoubtedly the
I want to say I saw about this on David Beckham documentary.
World Cup moment. Wayne Rooney was determined to get his team into the lead, but got dragged into a messy confrontation with Ricardo Carvalho in the middle of the pitch. Rooney kicked out at the Portuguese star, but he would not have expected his Man United teammate Cristiano Ronaldo came rushing in, demanding a red card. In disbelief,
Rooney pushing him. The fuck out of here.
A second later, as the broadcast zoomed in on Ronaldo in the aftermath of Rooney's red, he winked at the camera as if to say he had deliberately contributed to his star man. England were unable to.
And then their relationship, Rooney and Ronaldo relationship, never repaired after that, huh? I don't think so.
Shootout in which,
and the crazy thing is Rooney and Ronaldo is the same age. Ronaldo's still playing, or even like 3-4 years ago, Ronaldo was still playing, and man, Rooney was coaching DC United.
The shootout in which CR7 scored the decisive penalty. Whether the youngster's approach was popular or not, he was already providing clutch moments. He'd go on to play against the winner of Brazil and France at his first World Cup semi. But even though Ronaldo was writing the headlines, the semi-finals as the French and Brazilian teams.
Okay, no. Okay, I see you. I see you. I like that, bro. Look at it. Talking. Against his boy, he looked so Ronaldo. He said,
semifinals as the
Wayne Rooney ain't don't find this shit funny.
With players who already won the tournament.
Look at the star power.
Quarterfinal tie. It looked as if it were a fantasy all-star game. Footballing gods like Roberto Carlos.
Wasn't this game a stinker?
Ronaldinho and R9 stood in the tunnel meters away from Francis Vieira, Henry, and Ribéry.
Brazil used to have so much aura too.
Zidane that would stand out against a field of players where many would go down among the greatest to ever play in their position. Inside the opening minute, Zidane stood on the ball, produced a drive back, and skipped past a couple of defenders with a step over. The Brazilian players.
I think Zinedine carved their ass up.
Zidane was still operating at such a level. The majestic midfielder played a combination of long and short passes, expertly controlled aerial balls, and even juggled with it as he controlled the tempo of the game. Brazil couldn't get close to Zidane, and by halftime, many were already lauding it as one of the greatest individual World Cup performances of all time.
Yeah, I heard he went crazy.
His performance was finally symbolized with an assist after 57 minutes as Henry got on the end of his three-point free kick. France held on to win. Zidane produced a perfect performance, and the legends of Brazil lay on the floor knowing that an era in which their team team had won 2 of the last 3 World Cups, had finally come to an end.
Did y'all know that this nigga Ronaldinho, I don't know, I'm pretty sure this was his last World Cup, or yeah, he ain't played the 2010 World Cup. Bro, this was Ronaldinho's last World Cup, and this nigga was only 28 or 27, 20, however old he was. This nigga is still a kid, bro. He's still like 25, 26 here, and this was his last one.
2 of the last 3 World Cups had finally come to an end. Perhaps even more surprisingly, their dominance had not come undone by a new star, but
he
by
said
a
28 is old. I mean, he was 25 when that happened, yeah, and then the 2010 World Cup, he was 29. Like, bro, come on. Luka Modric was in the 2018 World Cup 35 years old, or 32, however the hell. Like, you know.
Who had already been there at their peak. At this moment, it almost felt like destiny that France would win the World Cup during Zidane's swan song. But before he'd be the difference maker against Portugal in the semis, Germany would face Italy. As the hosts, Germany went into the semifinal as favorites. They had proven that they could comprehensively beat the tournament's lesser teams.
I cannot wait for the World Cup, man.
And demonstrated resilience to come from behind to knock out Argentina in the
only got a couple more days.
Podolski and Klose in attack to have scored 8 goals between them at the tournament so far. They would need at least one of their forwards to be on form if they were to beat an Italian side that had not conceded since the second game of the group stages. There was a feeling that if one of the Germans could bring down the Berlin Wall, Cannavaro, then Italy may not have.
They gotta bring them down just for the disrespect.
For 119 minutes, Italy frustrated Germany, limiting the hosts to half chances and long-range efforts. Italy negotiated the electric atmosphere of the Signal Iduna Park expertly and trusted the strength of their defenders as they sat back and let Germany attack. Seconds from time, the ball landed to Pirlo on the edge of the box. Composed as ever, the iconic midfielder took a few touches before playing an intricate pass to Fabio Grosso, who netted the game's
that's a hell of a strike.
Germany desperately attempted to respond, which allowed Alessandro Del Piero to seal the win with a side of the foot finish in stoppage time. The hosts crumbled in their own backyard, while Italy extended the time in which they had not conceded to over 550 minutes. If they continued that record into the final, the only way they could be beaten was by a penalty shootout. But given that they'd faced the winner of Portugal versus France, it was too early for Cannavaro and company to get ahead of themselves. The game was particularly significant for Portugal. While the nation has improved its international tournament finishes across the 21st century, the 06 tournament was only the 4th World Cup that they'd participated in. In 1966, Portugal reached the semifinals, but they had not even reached the knockout stages since then. But with a young Cristiano Ronaldo
look at Ronaldo, he can't believe. Damn, that low-key make you wanna root for Portugal a little bit, you know? Low key, like they said at that point, that was only their 4th World Cup.
Cristiano Ronaldo combining with Deco, Luis Figo, and Paoletta, anything felt possible, even against the greatness of Zidane. But even with all the stars in the French team, it took a careless mistake for the '98 winners to establish their lead. Ricardo Carvalho clumsily took Henry down inside the box, gifting a penalty that Zidane would take. Zizou placed the ball to the keeper's left, and France were 1-0 up, seemingly game over given the quality of their team. In response, Ronaldo took a 35-yard free kick that was promising, but ultimately fell into the keeper's hands. The future Ballon d'Or winner would produce iconic moments.
Why he did it? That shit wasn't close to going in. Why he did that? Why he make it seem like Nardo was finna hit that whole some little proper propaganda in it?
In the years to come, but in 06, he was forced to watch the established French stars celebrate booking their place in the tournament's final.
The final
France versus Italy, a game between one of Europe's greatest footballing nations of the 20th century, Italy, and one that would become iconic in the modern era. Italy had previously won the World Cup in 1934, 1938, and 1982, while France inspired a new generation with their triumph in 1998. It was a final of contrasting styles, attack versus defense, flair versus structure, new versus old. For that reason, combined with the Zidane swan song factor, many neutrals wanted the French to win their second
That nigga has a knocker.
He was also among the most likable players of the era, while Vieira had been dominant in the Premier League for several seasons. So the world stopped, with many expecting the artistry of France to finally unlock the Italian defense. And after just
Cannavaro, tell me Cannavaro don't look like Buddy.
Italian defense.
Don't look like Buddy off of Green Street Hooligans. Tell me he don't look like him. What's his name? Was it Steven? I forgot this character name, bro. Look, these niggas are like the same nigga, bro. This is the same person.
And after after just 7 minutes, it finally happened. Italy conceded for the first time since their draw with the US.
France scored first?
Took down Florian Malouda inside the box.
Of course it was a
giving the
pin. Oh
referee
my
no
goodness.
choice but to award a penalty. Zidane stepped up and attempted the audacious
penalty.
in the World
Oh,
Cup
no.
final.
Oh, this was the
Whether
one that hit
genius
off the
intended
bar.
his penalty to hit the
Did
bar
everybody
and
say
weigh
so
in is
hard?
unclear,
Yeah,
but
that
it
is
needed a
tough.
moment of creativity and genuine courage to finally get past Buffon. With Italy's
This nigga
clean
decided to
sheet
do a
over,
Panenka
France
in the
looks
World Cup final against Buffon.
set to go on and win its second World Cup. But the Italians knew that they were not going to get the better of France with beautiful, free-flowing football. So when they were awarded a corner after 19 minutes, all the big boys charged into the
they
box.
playing Arsenal
Heroes
ball.
cross found Marco Materazzi
Haga!
emphatically headed the ball into the goal to level the
Materazzi.
scoring. And despite giving away a penalty and scoring a goal at the other end, his biggest contribution of the game was still to come. But first, Italy and France would battle it out for the remainder of the 90 minutes, with chances being conceded at both ends. Luca Toni almost
So they
replicated
they was
Materazzi's
playing.
goal
Oh, so they
again
was
from
having a
Pirlo
crowd.
but
Set
hit the
piece
ball. At the
merchants.
other
God
end,
damn.
Zidane played an intricate pass to Malouda, who was clearly brought down inside the box, but the referee dismissed the French pass to Malouda, who was clearly brought down. Bar. At the other end, Zidane played an intricate pass to Malouda, who was clearly brought down inside the box, but the referee dismissed
marginal.
the French appeals for a
Marginal.
penalty. In the second half, Zidane came close to providing his career with a perfect ending, as his header looked destined to end up in the back of the net, but Buffon stopped the effort with a fine save. The final eventually went to extra time when the most shocking moment in World Cup history occurred. In the 110th minute, France were awarded a free kick midway inside the half when the referee paused the game for a separate incident that had taken place at the opposite end of the pitch. Camera replays showed Materazzi and Zidane in
Bro,
discussion
I
as they
still
jogged
cannot
back from the
believe
Italy
this
box.
shit.
The dialogue appeared heated, but nobody could have expected Zidane
In
to
the
turn
final?
around and head the Italian as if he was a charging bull. It was an indisputable red card worthy.
Bro,
act
that
of
even
violence,
hurts
but it
my
was
chest
unclear
just
whether
looking
any
at
of
it,
the
caved the
officials
nigga
had spotted the
chest
challenge.
in.
Eventually, the referee conversed with the but it was as if he
Bro.
was attracted, but nobody could have expected Zidane to turn around and headbutt the Italian as if he was a charging bull. It was an indisputable red card worthy act of violence, but it was unclear whether any of the officials had spotted the challenge. Eventually, the referee
And there's no VAR, so if nobody would have seen it, they would have been hit.
And so Zidane was dismissed. A shameful act in his final game, with France still within a chance of lifting its second World Cup.
Look at him,
But
look
what
at
had
him.
Materazzi said to him to make him respond so aggressively? In
Yo,
a later
last
interview
game
with
ever.
Italian Football TV, Materazzi claimed, "My trash talking was nothing. He offered me his shirt. I said, no, I'd prefer your sister." It doesn't seem like a comment worthy of jeopardizing the nation's
Woo! Hey, I ain't gonna hold you. I probably would have lashed out too. Now I did hear the sister story, but I ain't think he was that slick. Hey, he let that shit out slick. I thought he was like, "Hey, Zidane, where your sister at?" I thought he was on something like that. But I didn't know that it was a quit back. If it's a quit back, yeah, I ain't gonna hold you. That would have got under my skin. Hey, that's proper, isn't it? Clap it up. That boy Zidane say, "You want my shirt after the game?" That nigga say, "Nah, I want your sister." Hey, they even made me hop up a little bit. They made me hop up. God damn.
So aggressively. In a later interview with Italian Football TV, Materazzi claimed, "My trash talking was nothing. He offered me his shirt. I said, no, I'd prefer your sister." It doesn't seem like a comment worthy of jeopardizing your nation's chances in a World Cup final, something Zidane understands, having suggested in a later interview, "I'm not proud of it, but it's part of my career. At that time, I was more fragile." France were left to battle on without their talisman and survived the final 10 minutes of extra time despite pressure from the Italians. Given that Zidane had already scored 2 penalties at the World Cup, his absence was significant. But that wasn't the only reason that swung the penalty shootout in Italy's favor. His final act was so shocking that his fellow French players were still processing the actions of their captain.
Man,
The
they
Italians
weren't
received a little
processing
boost
that.
knowing that their opponent's star man had done something so appalling. Italy scored each of their penalties.
These niggas just
while
ain't
Trezeguet
show up
missed
in
for
penalty
France,
shootout.
ultimately
Ah, he
allowing
tried to do
Fabio
it in honor of anything. Hey, He tried. Hey, that was in honor of Zidane right there. He tried to do the same thing, hitting that hood off the top of the bar, but it just didn't work.
Missed for France, ultimately allowing Fabio Grosso to score the World Cup winning penalty and spark celebrations worthy of a final that would not be forgotten. Cannavaro lifted the trophy as Pirlo, Buffon, and Del Piero celebrated beneath their
then these niggas went on to miss 3 straight.
In the final, the
not after this,
but
but
been torn down at the Olympia Stadion as Italy won its 4th World Cup. That would not be the only trophy that Cannavaro would lift in 2006.
He got that Ballon d'Or.
He became one of the few defenders in history to win the Ballon d'Or, with
Cannavaro
Buffon finishing in 2nd place and Henry getting 3rd spot.
Zidane and Buffon got 2nd,
with Buffon finishing in 2nd place and Henry getting 3rd spot. Zidane finished in 4th position and left wondering what could have been had he kept his cool.
He would have won it.
Assault on Materazzi. It's possible that the great midfielder would have lifted the World Cup and the Ballon d'Or in his final year as a professional. But many argue that Zidane's final act does not deter his legacy, but actually adds to it. The midfielder was always a maverick. He played the beautiful game at his own pace.
It doesn't add to it. I'm sorry. It gives him more notoriety. But nigga, he could have won Ballon d'Or while as a retired person. I didn't mean to click the laugh. I'm rusty. Do y'all realize that this nigga could have won Ballon d'Or as a retired football player? Niggas ain't never did that.
And a style that nobody else could match. Perhaps there's no other world-class player in the history of the game that would have made such a reckless decision minutes before their potentially crowning moment, but nobody else is Zidane. Zizou was one of a kind and a colorful footballer who was capable of the sublime and the ridiculous within minutes of each other.
Boy got that monk hair, that priest hairstyle.
26-year career in which he lifted the World Cup, European Championships, Champions League, La Liga, and Serie A.
That nigga won. He won a lot. Hey, everybody clap it up. The history of the 2006 World Cup. Hey, y'all see he slowed that talking down for the knockouts. I guess was the group stage of the 2006 World Cup that lame? He sped through that shit. Hey, get Top Benz to 150K subscribers. He ain't even show the full groups. Like, he said, yeah, this filler episode. Tyre hit you the 2026 World Cup. Let me know where does this rank in y'all World Cup list. You already know I only seen one World Cup, so my list right now is 2022 World Cup. That's it. That's it, number 1. I don't have no 2, 3, 4, 5. That's all I got. So we gonna see what the 2026 World Cup is talking about when it happens. I cannot wait. Only 6 days away at the recording of this video. By the time this video goes up, it will probably be about 4 days away because tomorrow's the USA Germany game. So hey, y'all know what time it is. Come out.